This is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I'm Magpie, gonna freeze to death out here with
Uh-oh.
only the weak warmth of a CRT playing Serial Experiment Lane in front of me to keep me alive. Serious, no,
Survival anime, baby.
it's an unusually cold week in my home, and I get to celebrate it by getting an email every day about how the post office is refusing to deliver my packages
What?
until
Oh,
the weather gets better.
Well, okay.
But they don't need to keep telling me about it. I kind of figured.
Fair enough.
Also, I weirdly, I actually did watch a show. I
Ooh.
watched one more episode of Witch from Mercury because it seems like all of my friends are watching it, and they're eventually going to accidentally spoil it for me. So
Yeah, that's one that we
I
gotta
just
get
watched
on
some
top
more.
of. Yeah.
That show seems good. I like it.
Mhm.
It is.
So what about you guys? You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Blackle. I'm having a good time. I feel like I watched anime recently. I don't remember which one it was. What?
Other Side Picnic.
Oh, I watched Other Side Picnic with my girlfriend. I finally showed that to her.
Oh,
I don't know why
yeah,
it took me so long.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
How was it? Did you watch all of it or?
Yeah, we watched all of it in like
What'd
one
you
day.
think? What's the
'Cause
review?
it's only 12, 22-minute episodes, so it was only like 6 hours. God, that was 6 hours. Anyway, we love it. We love it.
I was about to
Nice.
say, how'd you guys like Gay Roadside Picnic?
It's basically Lesbian Backrooms, the anime. So like it seems to be like laser focused on me and her's interests. So
Yeah, that's one that I am definitely interested in perhaps picking back up someday. But anyhow, hi, I'm Joey, and I watched a less. I've been keeping up with the Technoroid show, and wasn't ready for one of the androids to start quoting Isaac Asimov's Laws of Robotics during the episode. I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on?
Do you
That
see?
show continues to make me wheeze with laughter, and I kind of unironically like it.
You got to remember the origins of anime. It came from Japanese people being Westaboos in places
Yeah,
and
that's
loving
true.
like old science fiction and shit.
Well, I'm glad to see.
they're just like,
I'm
we'll
glad
make
to
our
see
own.
them keeping in touch. It's kind of fun.
Ugh.
But yeah,
Do I
that's
go?
me. Yeah, your
Hi,
turn.
it's me, Louis. Hello. I watched a shit ton of anime because I've been in a depression funk, and watching anime is key to. It's the doctor prescribed anime to me to
That's true.
get my depression better.
Curative.
But I also watched the Android show Technoroid. What is it? Technoroid
Technoroid
Overmind.
Overmind. Yeah, you're so right.
Overdrive would be funnier.
What's your take?
I like it.
Is it one of those situations where you're just like, this is trash, but I like it?
Sort of.
I mean it's a little trash, but it's like sometimes it's like surprising in ways that you're not ready for. I do think it like leans a little trash that you tend to enjoy, but I don't feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? But what else have you been watching?
I've also been watching Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. Yes, I'm the friend that's going to accidentally spoil it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I thought laying odds. I thought it was going to be Samus.
Oh, really? Okay.
I can agree with that.
Okay, so I'm not the friend. I've also been watching Blue Lock and Vinland Saga.
That's a lot.
And
it's a lot of weeaboo content.
How
are they?
It's okay. So Blue Lock it's not bad. It's good, actually. I'd say it's good for a sports anime, but it's also a sports anime, so it's like it's pretty. par for the course as far as that goes. I think I said on the episode last week that like the first arc is about team building and the second arc is about destroying the team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little interesting. Vinland Saga. Oh boy, that's great animation. Great story.
Get
Very
ready
bloody.
to get sad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you will have a bad time, but like, you want to have a bad time when you watch it, I guess.
Sure, sometimes people want to suffer a little.
Yeah, which I guess is someone's good time. Anyway, I've taken it upon myself this year, and this might end as of this episode. Who knows? I've taken it upon myself this year to watch every anime that we watch on the show this year.
Seriously?
Please don't think of your health.
Yeah, right?
Like I said, depression funk.
Okay. I'm not gonna stop you, but I also doubt the.
Even-
doubt
Even
that
I
it's
don't
possible.
know.
Well, like
Even
yeah, it might end as of today. Depends.
And with some of the options here, it might end very quickly. But anyway, you guys want some news before we
Let's
continue?
have some news.
I got some fun news here. This is basically just game updates, but let's see. This one is tangentially related to anime, just in aesthetics, which is Power Wash Simulator is going to release a free pack allowing you to clean up things in Midgar from Final Fantasy VII,
Oh,
That's fun.
including working your power washing magic on enemies, locations, and possibly things like the motorcycle and the guard scorpion.
That's pretty funny. You know
That's
what?
pretty
Evil
fun.
lairs need maintenance too.
That's true. Midgar, especially in need of somebody to wash off the layer of grime from its diesel punk objects. Next is more Dragon Ball Cross Fortnite
yeah.
collaborations. I only bring up because they are bringing Gohan and Piccolo to the game, and the idea of Piccolo shooting people with a gun is really, really funny to me for some reason.
Yes, it kind of is.
It's just, I have given up on martial arts.
Only violent.
Die.
Only gun now.
And finally, the real piece of news here is that a person or group of persons using the alias Luffy is a suspect for organizing a string of burglaries in at least 14 prefectures in Japan since last
Oh.
year.
Luffy, no.
Their
The
name
One
appears
Piece
to
is
be
real.
a reference to the aspiring pirate king.
You are a pirate.
Police have arrested several suspects in each of the separate cases. One of the robberies resulted in the murder of a 90-year-old woman in Kamei,
Oh,
Tokyo.
no.
Oh, that's no good.
Based
Luffy.
on communication data from the suspect's mobile phones, the police believe the robbers received instructions from Luffy using Telegram, and the data points towards the Philippines.
Jesus Christ.
That does remind me. I have also started reading One Piece again.
It does remind me I got
Oh,
I got a
maybe.
Telegram message the other day.
Pick up.
Yeah, that too.
So yeah, that's happening.
So he's gonna drop that news on us, and then now he's gonna wave
Now
a
he's
gun
gonna,
at us.
Yeah, I'm gonna point a gun at you. According to this article, it looks like Japan and the Philippine authorities are working out a plan for extraditions and the handover of suspects for interrogation. So maybe we'll find out who the Pirate King is soon.
Yo ho, yo ho.
The One Piece is real.
Anyway, I think we've had it. I think you all have had it too easy for too fucking long.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So it's time for a roulette episode.
Oh
Just-
god. I
Just
think
do
the
it.
worst part of this is picking a number.
yeah.
Yes.
The worst part is going.
No,
Yeah.
that's the best
Number.
part.
You guys pick a number between 1 and 6. I don't care how you do it.
4.
Okay, I have the idea.
I said 4
Okay.
already.
No, I was going to say the idea first.
I recuse myself from this.
Let's
Well-
go. 4.
The first person that says the number fastest wins. Okay,
Great.
ready?
I
1,
already
2,
said a
3,
number.
Go.
I already
2.
said a number.
2. 2 it is.
I said 4 before you even said the.
2
Yeah,
This is
but I,
bullshit.
I didn't. I said the rules then.
Okay, let's do 6. I'm fine with 6.
6.
No, it's 2.
No.
Motherfucker.
Okay, 4 it is.
What?
Chop, 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 chop.
4? Okay.
Why do
Are
you
you
keep
guys
making
ready?
us do this?
Well, at first I thought it would go well because I thought you were all reasonable people, but at this point it's just sadism.
I think I think that I try to
So you
get it to go smoothly, but everybody else.
so you guys want 4?
Yes.
All
I
right.
guess, yeah.
Well, it looks like this week we'll be watching My Dress Up Darling.
Oh.
Hey, listen, I've heard that's like a top 20 franchise in Japan.
Yeah, it's actually pretty popular. So
It might not be that bad.
So I hope you'll join us all for the first one episode rule LP of Saint Slippery's Academy for Girls, the Young Ladies of the Humiliation Club, Debauched Miracle Life 2. That'll be going up on the YouTube channel, within the next couple of months.
God damn it, fucking God, I didn't ask for this!
That is one of the best end of episode hooks I've heard in a while, especially when spoken in English.
Yes.
Because in Japanese, it wouldn't hit as hard.
No, but
But her looking directly at the camera and saying that shit, and then panning back
then
to
he's
him,
just
and he
like,
just says,
huh?
"Excuse me, what?"
he's pardon?
Anyway, let's actually get in there. Oh yeah, we need a blurb. I have the My Anime list. Who wants to read it? Blackle doesn't have to. Blackle did their penance recently.
I will
Thank
take
you.
this blurb, baby.
All right. This one's a long one.
Oh. Ahem. High school student Wakana Gojo spends his days perfecting the art of making Hina dolls, hoping to eventually reach his grandfather's level of expertise. While his fellow teenagers busy themselves with pop culture, Gojo finds bliss in sewing clothes for his dolls. Nonetheless, he goes to great lengths to keep his unique hobby a secret, as he believes that he would be ridiculed were it revealed. Enter Marin Kitigawa, an extraordinarily pretty girl whose confidence and poise are in stark contrast to Gojo's meekness. It would defy common sense for the friendless Gojo to mix with the likes of Kitigawa, who is always surrounded by her peers. However, the unimaginable happens when Kitagawa discovers Gojo's prowess with a sewing machine and brightly confesses to him about her own hobby, cosplay. Because her sewing skills are pitiable, she decides to enlist his help. As Gojo and Kitagawa work together on one cosplay outfit after another, they cannot help but grow close, even though their lives are worlds apart.
Cool. I looked up Hina dolls to know what we're talking about.
Nice. Research, baby.
I did research. Also, I can't decide whether to call him Wakana or Gojo because Gojo is funnier because people will think of JJK Gojo.
Yes.
No, I did.
Which combining the two characters becomes very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, that's basically our layout for this rom-com. Let's do the rundown. We open up probably on the most impactful like part of the story, which is Gojo's grandpa being a grandpa, showing him as a boy what he does for a living. Basically, he says, "These are Hina dolls. Do you like them?" Now, for our viewers, what are Hina dolls? Pushes up glasses. Hina dolls are usually come in sets, and they are dolls that represent members of the emperor's court and are used during Hina Matsuri, which is one of the 5 seasonal festivals that are held on auspicious dates of the Chinese calendar. The first day of the month, the third day of the month, so on. Hina Matsuri is on the 3rd of March each year. Traditionally, it's pretty complicated, but and also used to be associated with the Peach Festival, which me and JoJo would know because of the extremely weird Akira Kurosawa movie, Dreams.
Dreams, yes.
So yeah, that's what these are. They're the They're the peach orchard. But anyway, yeah, it's called Doll's Day or Girls' Day, and yeah, parents usually try and get their daughters a set of at least the main two, the Emperor and Empress.
Mhm.
And on the day they put them out on red fabric, and I don't know, look at them. But anyway, Gojo's family makes these because it's a traditional craft, and there's always families making this kind of shit for like 800 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And
His grandpa said he'd been doing it for what, like 47?
yeah, by the modern period in the anime, he's been at it for 48 years.
Mm-hmm.
This man is a machine. But yeah, he's showing young old Gojo showing young Gojo the Hina dolls, and he says, "Do you like them? This is what Grandpa makes and sells." And young Gojo says, "Yes, I like them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're really beautiful."
They are.
And the next one is he's making one himself. He's making a really terrible one. But he's really happy with it. And then the next scene after that is him and whatever, a neighbor girl, and the neighbor girl sees what he's doing and freaks her shit out because of sexual norms, basically.
She's like, ew, what are you, gay?
Her being a child and seeing something outside of her purview, she can react one of two ways, which is not at all or completely freak out, which is pretty common amongst children.
Mm-hmm.
And she chooses to completely freak out because dolls are for girls.
Yeah.
And it hurts him badly.
I mean, yeah.
It causes him lasting psychological damage into his teen years.
He wakes up in bed having had implied
he
to
remembers
have that
it.
dream.
He has that dream where he remembers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so he's basically grown into, well, he says he's 15. He actually reads as a bit older, and I think that's just how he's drawn in the timbre of his voice.
Yes, I thought he was supposed to be like college age when I first saw him.
Yeah, both of them kind of read that way, but whatever. They're both like 15. They're in high school.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's gone through elementary and middle school, not making any friends at all. And his grandpa is asking him at breakfast because he's like, hey, have you made any friends? It's kind of clear that his parents are no longer in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
So Grandpa is the one caring for him.
Yeah.
And Grandpa, despite being a 70-year-old man who makes dolls, does have some touchstones with society, and he's starting to get a little worried because he's just like, hey, you gotta have human relationships outside of little dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I like them too, but that's not all there is. You got to stop talking to the dolls, man. But he lies to him. He says, yeah, I made plenty of friends. They just go to different clubs. And Grandpa clearly doesn't believe him. But he's just like, yeah, I was just a little worried there. Then he goes to school and he immediately just says, sorry, Grandpa, I lied. Because what he does is he works on his dolls all the time. And then when he's forced to, he puts that down, puts on his school clothes, and he goes to school and sits by the window in the back and doesn't talk to anybody. Because he has nothing in common with anybody. And all he does in his spare time is paint faces onto wooden heads.
Yeah, everyone he eavesdrop on everyone in class talking about.
They're talking about sports and anime, and
he's like, I don't care about any of these.
He's just like, I don't have any common ground with these people. I can't talk to any of them. So that's the situation he's left in. Is he can't really make friends because he can't bridge the gap. Which, by the way, dude, just watch whatever they're talking about one night.
Yeah.
Come on, you could take 45 minutes out.
It's fine.
But whatever. He's 15. He doesn't know. But what he does know is that there is a girl hurtling towards him at large speed backwards. Because as he was daydreaming, our other main character, Marin Kitagawa, don't know how she ended up in this situation. But she's like fully feet off the ground, hurtling backwards towards his desk. And she just smashes her head on the corner.
Concussion time.
Concussion
they never
time.
explain that.
They never explain what she was fucking around to.
That's like that
But
fucking like check this out, backflips, breaks neck. It was
Yeah,
never
breaks
true
own
what I was
neck.
trying to do. Yeah.
I want to headcanon. She was like, "Hey, I bet you can't toss me across the room" to one of her friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to an off-screen screen character called, I don't know, weightlifter Matsuri or something,
Yeah.
who just fucking shot puts her all the way across from the hall. But yeah, she just smashes her head on the corner of his desk, and he's just like, "What the? Oh God! Wait, you're the popular girl. Why did you? What the fuck is happening?"
He's so confused.
And she stands up immediately and just no-sells it. She's just like, "Son of a bitch!" And they're just like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "No, but yeah." And she turns around to say something to him because, well, he owns the desk. And she's like, "I'm sorry, man." He's just like, "You okay?" She's like, yeah. He says. And she's like, "Okay, buddy." And he's got a big ink spot on his arm because he works with inks all the time, with brush and ink, painting on faces. And she goes, "Oh wow, that's some serious work. Did it hurt?" Because she thinks it's a tattoo. Because it forms sort of a pleasant abstract shape on his arm, and he's just like, "Oh no, it's cool, it's cool, it's oh God."
I thought she thought it was like a bruise or something.
That's
I don't
what-
know.
that's how I interpreted
That's what
it.
I thought initially, and then when he pointed out there was ink, I ran what she said over my head again. I was just like, "Oh, she thinks it's a fucking tattoo." And she's just like, "Well, okay, dude, I'm gonna let you off the hook then." And she smiles at him. One thing about this show is that both in animation and in voice acting, Marin is incredibly charming.
Yeah.
Just the whole time.
She's
delightful. Great. But she's like, "I'll let you off the hook," and slides out of frame. And she goes up to the front to talk to some friends because there's like, "Marin, are you okay?" She's like, "No, didn't you see me die?" And she goes up to talk to them, and he's just like, "Wow, I just talked to the most popular girl in school for the first time. Weird." And he eavesdrops on them, and they're talking about how one of their friends finally got Marin to hang out after school because she doesn't hang out after school. She's cool in school, but she just goes home and does private things, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just like, "Yeah, they had a hair modeling gig, and I wanted a haircut, so I got so we went together." And talking about how there was this guy following her. She's like, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, he was totally a stalker." And it's like, "Ugh, was he at least hot?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, he was totally stupid." He was an anime guy.
But that doesn't matter. He's a stalker.
Yeah, and he tries to roll up on her and sound cool, right? So he's just going to deploy negging.
Literally.
Which the idea of like 15-year-olds negging each other is hilarious to me. I can't imagine a worse idea. But he's just like, "Who that girl in your bag is from some anime, right?" She's like, "Wow, you're a nerd, but a hot nerd." And obviously he thinks that's gonna work out. Instead it causes her to.
She goes scary mode.
She like turns on Patrick Bateman mode. She's just be like, "Hey, at least I'm not a fucking stalker." And just turns and leaves immediately, and they're just like, "She just fucking left the scene of the murder."
Yeah.
Just like, "Geez, why didn't you give him a chance if he was hot?" It's just like, I don't care. It's not cool to make fun of shit people like. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. She's so right.
She's so right. And Gojo remarks to himself, he's just like, "Wow, we really do live in opposite worlds." Because in her world, people accept her for who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks about the little girl hurting him again.
Rip.
He's got some deep-seated trauma for that moment. But yeah, he does that, and he goes home. The next couple of scenes are getting mixed up in my mind, but I think what happens next is he goes home and he's working on something, and he cuts his hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He cuts his finger with a pair of scissors. He's like, "Oh shit."
Grandpa runs in with a Band-Aid. Be
He's just,
careful.
be careful. But they find out the sewing machine is broke after that. He's just
Mhm.
like, it was pretty much an antique. Well, I guess you get a new one now. And he's just like, well, fuck. I wish I could have gotten to a stopping point.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we should mention, because this is critical, he's been carrying around an unfinished Hina doll with him. His grandpa made the head.
Yes.
Because apparently the way they go is their heads on little sticks, and then you make the clothing around them. I don't know if there's any more armature in there or not, but in this way, it is a beautiful like head with head of long hair braided on a stick that he keeps with him. And he's just like, well, shit, what am I going to do? Oh no, we missed the scene between that, because at the end of the day, before he goes home, he gets stuck with the cleaning up.
He's stuck in
yeah.
chairs.
Which is very funny because like I've never been to an American school where they made students do anything like that. And I think it's because they're afraid they're just going to tear the place the fuck apart.
They would, is the thing.
And they're right.
They're correct.
They're correct. And yeah, it's pretty common in Japanese schools that they make at least the high school students clean up after class probably on drawing lots or something like that, or a rotating schedule. And anyway, Gojo gets stiffed because the two guys he's supposed to be with apparently don't want to be late to work again and shit. And they're just like, hey man, this is like, will you stay and do it? It's like, oh, thanks. I'll buy you soda sometime. And the one guy feels bad about it, but it doesn't stop him from going. And he's just like, well, this is going to take a while, but oh well. And after a minute, Marin comes in and starts putting stuff up. And she's like, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm cleaning up. It's my turn. She's like, wait, you're actually going to stay? It's like, yeah. Where's everybody else?
Yep.
It's just like, oh, well, they had said they were going to be late to work. It was just, no work, so they just went. Wait, all of them?
Like, don't let them do that, man.
Don't let them fucking do that to you. She gives him a little speech about having some self-respect.
And she's like, right.
They're just going to take advantage of you every time, so don't let them do that.
Once again, she speaks the truth.
She speaks the truth. So that's how he cuts his finger later, because he's not paying attention and he's thinking about what she said. But anyway, they find out the sewing machine is broke, which is a shame because it looks like an old Singer or something. I'm actually sitting at the base of a sewing machine exactly like it that I'm using for a desk.
Yeah.
But
why don't you make dolls? Make dolls now.
Why don't I make dolls? Make dolls now. I don't even know if this thing fucking works. But whatever. I'm gonna replace it soon. But yeah, so he's in a bind because he can't finish the outfit for the doll. So he's just like, what am I gonna do? And he figures out he's gonna sneak into like the home ec club room, the like sewing practice room, and he's gonna use that because they don't have an active club for that at school. So the room is just empty all the time. And it's got an electric sewing machine in it. He's like, wow, it's so easy. The modern world. And he's going at it. And then the door just slides open and Marin is standing there. And he's just like, fucking what?
That scene is so dramatic.
It's so threatening. But
her eyes are like twitching. He's like, it's all over.
It's all over for me. He fumbles the Hina doll that he was holding because he has a habit of like talking to them because they're his little precious little projects.
Yeah, he'll lean down and whisper, "You're getting dressed soon, beautiful."
Just like you look good today, baby. It's like you need to talk to living people. But yeah, he fumbles it and almost drops it on the ground, which could be bad. I think Hina doll heads are made out of like porcelain or something. So that could be actually bad.
Yeah. Destroyed.
I may be wrong. I don't know exactly, but it could be bad, and even in that case, it could mar the paint job or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and he football dives to get it, and he's just like, oh shit, because she's just standing over him, looking down at him, and she's like breathing heavily.
But also, when he does it, he instinctively whispers to the doll, "Oh, you're all right.
You're all right.
You're
Did
all
anything
right,
hurt?
sweetie." And she sees that happen too, and he's like,
And
"Wait
she's
a minute."
and she's like, "What the hell?" And he's just like, "Oh God, it's all over. everybody knows I'm a freak. Oh God." But the thing is it goes differently because she goes, "You know how to fucking sew? That's so cool."
Yep. Goes better than expected.
And he's like, "What? What do you mean?" It's just like, is it just like, "Oh, look, yeah, I work at a Hina doll shop, so I make the clothes for the little dolls." He's just like, "Is it a Hina doll? Let me see." And he's like, "Okay." She's like, "Oh, it's really beautiful." And he's just like, "I don't know how to deal with this."
Alert! Alert!
Me, whenever I receive a compliment on my work.
Confusion. I have the same feeling when people give me gifts that I'm not expecting, and it makes me insane. But she's like, "Wow, you can really sew?" She's like, "Hang on a second," and she takes off her tie and starts taking off her like a cardigan, and he's just like, "What? What?" She's like, "Can you turn around?" She's like, "Okay." And he turns all the way around. He's just like, what's happening? What the fuck is it? Why is she undressing? She can't be undressing. I hear clothes hitting the floor. Why do I hear that?
He's like, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?"
And she's like, "I need your opinion." It's just like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Can you turn around and look at me?" It's like, okay. And he turns around and looks at her, and she's wearing like a sack.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
She's wearing baby's first cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like cut it too short and shit, and it's and it's the fabric is like way too thin and probably cheap.
Mm-hmm. He's like, "What am I looking at?"
He's like, "What am I looking at?" It's just like, "You're looking," and she holds the phone out, her phone out to him, and it's a character. I forget the character's name.
So, did they specify what the character's from?
Yes, they did. The character, the character,
that was the lead-in joke.
Because the character is from Saint Slippery's Academy for Girls, the Young Ladies of the Humiliation Club, Debauched Miracle Life 2.
I must have looked away for a second and missed that.
You blanked it out
for 3 whole seconds as she said that entire line.
So
That's funny.
So yeah, she's like, "I want to." My dream is to cosplay this character. And he's just like, "Oh," just like, so you can sew, what do you think?" And he immediately just goes like, "Well, this is shit."
Yeah.
He eviscerates her.
He's just like, "Why isn't this
Christ.
double stitched? And this is supposed to have a lighting."
She's like, "What's a
And
lining?"
why did you stop the tension here? It made the stitches all fucked up. He looks up at her and she looks like she's about to cry. He's just like, "Oh shit, oh god, I'm so sorry." It's just like, "Fuck, kill me now."
She's like, "I'm not gonna kill you."
she's just like, "I'll give you money." How much? It's like, "Stop being weird.
He's like, "Yeah, he's a little melodramatic, isn't he?"
Don't be weird about this."
She
She's
made it
like-
weird to begin with. Like,
She made it a little weird.
A little.
She's a little too confident.
yeah.
But she's like, "It's my dream to cosplay these characters. I love them so much. Will you help me?" because I've been teaching myself and I don't know shit about sewing. And she's just like really emotional about it, and she like clasps his hands. It's like, "Will you help me? You don't have to. I won't make you." But
Mhm.
and he stops for a moment. It's a very long moment. He just says, "Okay, I'll do it." Because from what I get from this scene is just like he's just impressed at the depth of feeling here.
Uh-huh. He's like, "Wow, girls do have feeling. Wow, girls don't all immediately trash you for your
For your interest. Well, and there's a certain thing where if somebody, as long as they aren't like outright irritating, if somebody is really into something, you're kind of happy for them.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, "Oh, I'm glad that brings you so much happiness." And she's like, "Yeah, I will help you." And she's just like, "Great, finally, I'll be able to cosplay
characters from my favorite,
favorite
presumably very horny content."
from my favorite Saint Slippery's Academy for Girls, the Young Ladies of the Humiliation Club, Debauched Miracle Life 2. To which he replies, "Excuse me, what?"
And then we go to the credits.
And we go to the credits, which are cool. I
I like the
The
credits
end
animation.
credits
It was
are
really
very
cute.
stylish.
I got the title of it at the second time she said it,
Mhm.
so I just didn't catch it that she said it the first time too.
She didn't say it. She just said she said the character's name. That's
Yeah,
what
she
set
said
up
the
the
character's name.
set up the full title as the
okay.
joke. I just can't
Okay.
remember what the character's name is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay. I'm caught up. I'm here. I watched the episode.
So yeah, that's the show. What do we think about it? I have some thoughts to begin with, which are this show looks and sounds great.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is one of the better English dubs I've ever heard. 'Cause we did watch it dubbed. We flipped the coin.
I don't think that the old man's dub was very good. The grandpa, it sounded like
I
he was
like
reading
him.
his lines.
He
He
was
sounded,
fine.
I don't know. Well, Tetra did
He
say that he
sounded,
sounded like
maybe a-
Pro ZD doing an old man impression.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was Pro ZD doing an old man voice.
Well-
I would not be surprised at all.
Well, the thing is that some old guys do sound like Pro CD doing an old
Yes.
man voices.
That's true.
That is true. And also, I mean, like, he's a little bit, like, grandpa from an anime, but, like, he's a grandpa from an anime, so I don't really mind it.
And they do sand that off a little bit because he does kind of have like a weird like working man's voice, which is
Mhm.
funny for like a guy who makes adults for a living.
Yeah. It's kind of charming.
This guy was R. Bruce Elliott.
Never heard of him. What I was going to say is, yeah, the dub was definitely a strong point for me. As far as the art goes, I thought some of the backgrounds were maybe just a little barren, but it's a slice of life, so I don't.
Yeah, it's a Japanese high school rom-com, so it's
It's-
just like
Doesn't really bother me at all, and
Yeah.
the character designs are fine.
I just want you guys to know the last thing that old guy was in was as the narrator for a show called Irina the Vampire Cosmonaut, which I really need
Oh.
to see now.
Nice.
Anyway,
But
yeah, I really liked Gojo. I really like Marin, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah.
They're both of the main characters are charming.
Because oh boy, are they going to be talking?
Yes. I know that they're from what I've heard, they introduce more characters later on, and some of those characters are points of contention for this show. I don't really know the details, but
Does this turn into a harem anime? That's my question.
No.
No.
Gojo is definitely a wife guy,
Okay.
a girlfriend guy, as it were.
I thought it was very funny how they kept sneaking in like random little like panty shots and stuff. I was like,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was egregious.
uh-huh.
That's
Well, like, okay, they're trying. In this case, I'm not going to be as hard on it because to me, they're showing that Gojo is like notices your
Yeah,
notices
actually,
your butt.
I will say that it's not actually as egregious as it usually is because those shots are not just for the viewer; they are framed explicitly from his point of view.
Yes, they're like it's character building. I mean,
The-
you can
they're-
love it or hate it, and I don't like think that it's
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, I
they're a
don't know,
little
I just-
more justified.
I don't know. I just don't. I guess I just didn't grasp what the purpose of them were. Like I don't know. That's just me.
he's like
Well, he's a teenage boy, and it's just like pretty girl,
a
but
pretty girl. Because I kind of also get the feeling that maybe he like maybe he's like noticing girls for the first time.
I
Like
see.
well, yeah, he had a significant like mental block to any form of socialization. So this has got to be like shocking to him.
exactly. Like to me, it feels like he probably got to a point where he didn't feel like he even had a chance. So he's not gonna like pay attention to that kind of stuff.
I don't even think he would have considered it.
Exactly.
And I
But
know
now-
later episodes do make a joke out of it because in because of the nature of doing tailoring for people, yeah, you have to see them undressed
Yes.
a lot of the time,
Mhm.
and it really fucks them up. Apparently, um,
What?
so,
Your
yeah,
body isn't a stick?
I'm only used to working with sticks. I'm sorry.
Like,
Yeah,
oh
I
god,
was
shapes.
I was wondering the logistics of translating the Hina dolls to real people.
Yeah,
Yeah, cause like he mentioned it too in the show. He was like, I don't know how good I'll be because I've only ever worked with doll clothes.
yeah.
Mhm.
I make clothes for sticks.
Yeah.
Yes.
um,
Um.
but that is the part of it that he's good at.
Yes.
So he will at least have more facility with tailoring than she does because she's god awful.
Well, she's also self-taught. We have to like keep that
Mm.
in mind. Like
Yeah.
she's bad, but like it's not like
He's trying.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Any other thoughts?
Again,
Um,
the end was very stylish. The OP was kind of it was okay.
It's
I
okay.
don't remember the song very well.
San something. I don't remember what.
Mm.
I only know because I looked it up.
Yeah. I feel like this is two shows back to back where we've had, OP that was kind of mid. Actually, I don't think the last show had an OP. But the end like slaps, and also the art is like
I
cool.
want an
Oh, yes.
anime that is just the ending, like just that animation style
Just-
for the whole thing.
Yeah, just the kind of Hanna-Barberized version of
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
It's very
Round-
cute.
rounded out at the
clean,
corners with the little
yeah.
space helmets.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I liked this. I thought it was cute. I think Kitagawa was fun. It's cool to see a character like her have like open up Gojo.
Yeah.
Like who's clearly just been in a corner his whole life because of like trauma, which relatable.
Mhm.
So
I should also mention that they contrast very well together.
And they
Mhm.
have good chemistry.
Every time you see him outside of school where he is required to wear that uniform, he is just wearing his like traditional artisan's clothes, and it is a very interesting way to put a character out of context with their environment
Mhm.
because they're
Yeah.
always walking around like this. And he's just like, I don't know what's going on. Because he doesn't know anything about popular culture or anything outside of his tiny little sphere.
Yep.
Let's see. My anime list likes it. It's like 8.27.
Damn.
Mhm. It's known for being fairly popular.
So yeah.
Well, we
It's
got we got another decent one, y'all.
Yeah, you
Well,
you keep
we
getting
avo-
decent ones out of the gun. And
We're
I will
avoiding
assure
these
you,
bullets.
that given the contents of the gun, this is one of the decent ones.
I feel like we're eating up all the decent ones, and
We're gonna
Eventually, I'm
gonna-
going to run out of nice things to put in.
it's gonna be all ones that'll kill us instantly.
destroy us all. Yeah.
Well, anyway, would you guys watch another episode of this? I think I would.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of a
definitely.
I'm kind of a sucker for a rom-com until it offends me in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would watch more of
Yeah.
this.
I can see the appeal. I just don't think it's for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's okay.
I am probably gonna watch more of this.
Well, you had your plans.
Yeah.
It's very weird. About halfway through this show, I was just like, "Who is the English voice actor? I've heard him before, and I don't recognize him, but I was almost certain that he was fucking Legoshi Beastars, and he's not."
Wild. Okay.
I just assume everyone's Johnny Young Bosch until proven otherwise.
That's
That's
true.
really true. No, but then you know immediately. You hear his voice and you're like, "Oh, it's my boy Johnny."
It's him.
I'm like it's Adam from Power Rangers.
So yeah, if oh god, if you'd like to dress us up, darling, you
No.
could do that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That's one the word, not the number. If you would like to I don't know. If you want to tweet us, we're also on Twitter at OneEpisodeCast. Sometimes there's not a joke.
Would you like to dress me up like one of your anime characters, you freak?
I gotta go. I gotta leave.
Dress me up as
I don't want to be here
Doomsday.
anymore.
You gotta get the fuck out of here.
Let me out.
Yeah, you'd
End
like
the
that, wouldn't you?
Let me out.